What makes a hero and what makes a villain? This is the question we're going to be addressing today, and you'll find that the line between the two is far thinner than you expect. G'day everyone, I am doing a hero-villain swap in this video. I'm going to take some heroes and villains that you're very familiar with and reimagine their story in a way that believably makes the hero the villain and the villain the hero. One quick update though, because this is fairly urgent. If you haven't yet gotten the Pro Sketch Pack with 20% off, don't miss out. Check out the link in the description. Go to prosketchpack.com. We're having a massive back to school sale and you can get over $200 of pro premium materials for under $80. There it is, 20% off, and it's only $79.96. And this is the best price you will ever get. So go to prosketchpack.com and don't miss out while you have the chance. We're gonna start off with Beauty and the Beast. Let's start off with the villain, who frankly I think gets a bad rap, Gaston. We start off with the basics, a few references of Gaston and sketching out a pose of him cautiously approaching what will be the Beast and Belle. Now, even just looking at the references off to the side, I'm like, what's wrong with this guy? Like, yeah, okay, we get it. He's dumb, he doesn't read lots of books, that's fine. Is that a crime? Let's dial down that confidence. All of a sudden, it's not vanity, it's charm and a genuine desire to be the best person he can be. But funnily enough, making him a hero really comes down to the subtleties. His design, as you can see, is kind of identical, but as soon as I start working into the face, I'm softening that cockiness and turning it into a little bit more of a earnest searching for the Beast. Now, speaking of subtleties, as you can see, when adding in the colors, I'm basically just eye-dropping and picking the colors from the original, with the exception of the tunic. You see, the red gives that edge to his vanity, and red is a very aggressive color, and it feels provocative and hot. We're gonna go with a softer blue, and just with that communicates good guy. How weird is that? When it's blue, he's just a mild-mannered hero out to save the day. I mean, just look at him. Like, what have we done? We've softened his expression and made his coat blue, but by doing that and giving his pose a little bit more of a leaning in, sort of like his searching, as opposed to that. Yeah, he was cocky. Yeah, he's got character flaws, but he rallied the town to save a young girl who was literally captive by a beast. I say Gaston got a bad rap. Now I've got some references here of the Beast on the left and Belle on the right. I've actually also snuck in some references of Vanessa from The Little Mermaid. That's the evil Ursula in human form. The only thing that makes her a villain is the sharpness in her expression. One of the coolest things about the Beast as a character design is that he needs to be foreboding and intimidating and large and garish and rough, but have the ability to become likable. But what I've done here is taken that design and leaned into the beastliness, taken out that part that would make him appealing, that would make you actually be willing to fall in love with him. Belle, on the other hand, isn't going to be proportioned or designed much different from her original character, except in her attitude. And while I draw her out and try and evoke that attitude and sharpness in her expression and in her pose, let's just think back to her character, this young girl who was too good for the little provincial town. I mean, think about it. She was dismissive of everyone in that town, doing their job and living their life because what? Because they couldn't read? Because they lacked an education? We are talking about someone with a superiority complex, too good for the town she was in. So snobby and self-centered, in fact, that she was too good for the most eligible man in the town, the benevolent and kind and community-focused Gaston. Treating him as lesser because he isn't as clever, or should I say cunning, as her. Now let's take the way she ended up becoming a captive to the Beast off to the side for a second. Let's imagine a universe where she sought out the Beast. Why, you ask? Well, let's face it. It's not like it would be a secret. She knew that there was a prince that was transformed who lived in the castle. I don't think it's a stretch to say that this girl who is too good for the people of her provincial town sought out this Beast to take advantage of him, to use him to elevate herself. Why? The Beast, though he was monstrous, had all the wealth she could ever want. All she had to do was to pit him against Gaston, eliminating both of her competition and leaving her the castle. The Beast is gonna be fun to draw because I just love drawing big, tough, cool, gnarly, demonic looking dudes, and even the facial structure of the original Beast character design is so cool, and I'm just getting to push that in a really fun, epic direction. Really contorting and twisting out the mouth, more needly teeth with gums visible of this gaping maw. As you can see with the horns, really accentuating those and adding a hard edge and making them much more rough around the edges. And all the way along with Beast, tattering the cloak, roughing up the fur, intensifying the musculature and proportions, we end up with the result that I love. He's almost Minotaur-like, and I think makes for a really cool Beast villain design. Now it's on to line work to bring it all together and give it all that polished edge. And just like Gaston, the impact of a subtly executed expression makes all the difference. With a snarky pop of the eyebrow and cocky twist of the lips, all of a sudden Belle looks like she knows she's better than you and she is already 3 steps ahead. The colours of Beast are really straightforward. Again, pulls from the original, except I desaturated the fur in general and just went for a darker, murkier vibe. Belle, on the other hand, we kept the same brightness and intensity, and in fact, we want to accentuate her seeking wealth and power. So if anything, we dial up the shine a little bit on her. A bit more vibrancy in the dress, adding the pearls around her neck, adding more makeup to the face, everything that sort of says she is a material girl. And all of a sudden, with all 3 in context, the story is flipped. All of the execution is far more subtle than I expected I'd need to do for this. And this reimagining basically of their expressions poses a little bit about the proportion, and a few features that we sort of push in either direction make all the difference. And it really goes to show that line between hero and villain can be thinner than you expect. I am so happy with this sketch. One of my favorite things to do is to hand it off to Alicia to see how she takes it further. Our stunningly talented in-studio artist. Take it away, Alicia.
Thanks for having me, Jazza. So for this first piece, I really wanted to elevate the lighting. You've got this lovely bright torch conveniently placed below the Beast's face, which can make the lighting look super villainous, kind of like when you hold a torch under your chin when you tell a scary campfire story. Having such a bright light at such a strange angle can help cast some really interesting shadows across the Beast's face. I thought this warm light would pair really well with a steel blue fog for the background, which kind of reminds me of the stone walls of the castle.
So that brings us to Harry Potter. This one is one that seems like there's not as many grey areas. You have the boy who lived against he who must not be named, the evil Lord Voldemort. Like, it's so black and white. I mean, surely I can't pull this off, right? You met me? That was really cocky. Am I a villain? I'm wearing red. Oh shit. I'm deciding to draw Harry Potter as a full-grown adult. This is post-Hogwarts Harry. We need to retell his past so that we can contextualize the possible future of Harry and why he was the villain all along. I have sketched him holding a number of artifacts. The Time Turner around his neck, the Sword of Gryffindor in hand, the Invisibility Cloak, the Elder Wand, and probably a bunch more you haven't even heard of, because as it turns out in the Harry Potter stories, collecting or using some of the most rare and powerful magic items ever known is the thing he always did. But why? Imagine with me, if you will, a world in which Lily and James Potter were not the innocent victims they were told to be. In fact, they were power-seeking treasure hunters in a world full of magic, knowing that if they acquired all of the magical items of utmost power, they would control the wizarding world. And they got so close if it weren't for that pesky Tom Riddle. Tom was actually the Minister for Magic, but on the day that Tom Riddle got wind of what Lily and James were plotting and showed up to stop them, they sacrificed themselves and put their soul, their intentions, their dark desires and skills into their son, and put a curse upon Tom that would wipe people's memories and make them believe he was the Dark Lord behind all of the things that they had been doing, imparting their desire for power into their son, cursing Tom to be the Lord Voldemort, that he never was. Harry Potter came to inherit an absurd amount of blood money that he would use on his rise to power, who not only inherited the hunger to collect and use all of these items for his own gain and rise to power, but would be able to bring it all together to realize Lily and James's dream of becoming the most powerful wizard known to man. Now, anyone who read the Harry Potter books or watched the movies knows that Tom Riddle did preserve his immortality by exchanging pieces of his soul in order to create Horcruxes. What was not represented was the fact Voldemort was not putting his soul into these objects, he was protecting these objects from being obtained by Lily and James and binding them away from them at a cost that would be borne heavily by him. Breaking down his body and soul, a selfless sacrifice made to protect the wizarding world, the world itself, come to think of it. But this sacrifice seemingly was in vain, as Harry finally obtained them and didn't destroy them as we supposedly were told, but actually used them for his own gain. How else, of course, would he defeat Voldemort or Tom? You see, Harry missed the mark and Voldemort was not completely killed. It's actually shown at the end of the books that there's still a form of him left, but that was through Harry and Dumbledore's corrupted eyes. That crawling, dying husk on the ground as they presented it was actually a spark, a tiny spark of life and hope. The good in Tom Riddle that could not be killed, and his loyal, good followers brought him back one last time. And though he was still disfigured in the form of this mild-mannered and quite quirky and cute-looking old man, accompanied by his adorable little snack, Nagiri. I know it's not Nagiri, it's Nagiri, but I get to make up this version of the world, and point is, he's a cute old man, and he won't be defeated that easily by the Dark Lord Harry, because he has a world to save. Come on, Nagiri, let's go, save the world. It's quite a thankless job. Everyone still hates me, but it's the right thing to do. Did I do it? I feel like I did it. Let me know in the comments, but I think I did it. But I don't think we're done yet because Alicia's gonna help take it further.
So for this artwork, I knew I wanted another really strong light source across Harry's face to make it seem extra gaunt and mysterious. And I thought, what better light source to use than his wand? I played around with a few different colors and I eventually settled on a green, which is actually the color of the killing curse in Harry Potter. I thought that would be extra appropriate considering he's the villain. This green also worked out to be the best because it contrasted really nicely with all of the reds in Harry's outfit. As we know, green and red are opposites on the color wheel, so having them together is really effective. But I didn't want to stray too far from JAZZA'S original artwork, so I kept a very faint red glow around Harry as if he's got this villainous aura.
Look at that. Look at it. Alicia is amazing. Thank you so much for your help, Alicia. All of my illustrations and all of Alicia's painting were done with our brushes. We made them together. They're on the JAZZA'S Studios shop. Go check them out. They will help make your art better. And it's a huge support to the channel. Remember, 20% off for a very limited time for the Pro Sketch Pack. This has been so much fun. Everything we do is so much fun. We make awesome stuff, products, videos, and we have a great time because you know what? Art and creativity is friggin' fun. And you can do anything with it, like this and this, which we did today. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more fun with art and creativity. That is it for now, and until next time, we'll see you later. Lumos. Well, when that lights up, I was gonna have it turn the lights off in post-production, but that made it brighter, so I'm not a very good wizard.